Hey guys, I'm Becky from Book Bite Reviews and welcome to another reading vlog. Today it is Friday, July 2nd, and that means today is the first day of Summerween. If you've never heard of this readathon, like me, this is my first year doing it. This is an annual readathon that Olivia Reads a Latte and Gabby Reads put on. Last year I believe was their first one, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be totally wrong. And now this year I'm participating for the first time. So the whole point of this readathon is that it is 7 days long and you are to try and read spooky, scary books that you normally read in the fall for Halloween time right here in the middle of summer. Now this is perfect for me because I live, breathe, love Halloween. It is my favorite, and when I heard about this I definitely had to participate. I'm really sad that I didn't hear about it last year, but we're here now. So I have my 3 reads here that I'm hoping to read. If you didn't catch my TBR, I will be trying to read Indelible by Metcalf, My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix, and The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. So I did put up a poll on Instagram. In my TBR, I did say that I was going to try to read them in order. So this one is for reading a paranormal, this one for reading a horror, and this one for reading a book with Halloween colors on the cover. So the plan was to read them in that order, but I decided to leave it up to Instagram, and the first pick that my Instagram followers picked was actually the one that I was going to start with, which was The Only Good Indians. So right at midnight I did start this readathon, and I'm up to page 55. So far this is very interesting. It is starting out pretty slow. Right now some weird things are happening. I'm a tiny bit confused. Strange stuff is happening, but not like scary stuff. And I'm just very interested to see where this book is going to go and how scary it's going to get. Now, since I started this last night and I am listening to it on audio, I technically completed the challenge to read a book in the dark, but I was playing on my phone the whole time. So I'm hoping that tonight I can really kind of just focus and like have all the lights off, have my phone away, be in complete darkness, and read some of this book. If anything, I'm hoping that if it doesn't happen tonight, that when I get to, hopefully, the scary bits, that's when I can do it. So, yeah, I kind of just want to use the challenge for what it's for, which is to be scared, and we'll see how that goes. So like I said, it is Friday. I did work today, which is why I look gross, to be honest. Tomorrow I also have to work, but then I am off on Sunday and then working from home all of next week. So I'm hoping that we have plenty of time to read these books. So right now, I think I am going to just kind of relax, probably make dinner here soon, and then get back into The Only Good Indians. Hey guys, so it has been quite a few days since I updated you. I think the only time I've updated you is when I started this vlog, and it is now Monday. Now, part of the reason I haven't updated you is, number one, I have been very busy this weekend. So Saturday we had a surprise party for my friend for her 30th birthday, and then on Sunday we went to my husband's friend's house for fireworks and barbecue and stuff like that. So I have been busy, but I have been reading. So I've been reading The Only Good Indians. I am currently like dead center 50%. I'm on page 154, and I'll show you the cute little bookmark I'm using since it's Summerween. I have this cute little Happy Halloween bookmark. I don't know what I'm gonna end up reading this book. I think I may switch to physically reading it for the second half, just because I feel like I'll be a little bit more connected to it than listening to the audio. I'm liking it, but I'm just not getting, I feel like while I really like the narrator's voice, I just don't feel like it's fully like an acting of the book. It's really feeling more like a reading of the book. And if you listen to audiobooks, you know the difference between those two. It's definitely weird. I don't want to say it's creepy. I mean, there are things that I'm like, what are you doing? And there was an animal death that was just horrendous. But It's definitely a paranormal, and it's weird. One thing that I didn't know about this book, though, is that each of our 4 characters, it's told from their point of view, which is great. I love multi-POV, but I thought it would be like alternating chapters between the guys, and I thought that they would all kind of be in contact. Now, sometimes so far I've only read technically 2 people's stories. The first one happens very quickly, and I believe is like the prequel kind of thing. It's only the first couple pages, the first 12 pages is their story, and then it goes on to the next person. So I kind of thought it was going to be a lot more of like each chapter would be from a different one of the 4's point of view, like would all kind of connect together. Now it is connected, but it's all the book is segmented into 4 parts for each person. Now I get it because they're not like hanging out, they're not together, but it feels more of kind of like a collection of short stories that have a common theme rather than like one cohesive story. And I don't know if like the second half is going to change, like since something has happened to 2 of the 4 people. So maybe the last 2 will kind of like band together once they realize what's going on. It's a very wild story. If you're not into, I will say, if you're into paranormal kind of thriller horrors, you'll get into it. I'm not somebody who's usually into psychological paranormal thrillers in the sense of like everything is real world until the end, and then the ending is just like it was paranormal. Like to me that feels really cheap. So for this, where it's very obvious it's a paranormal aspect from beginning to end, and you also question of like, is this paranormal or is someone messing with them? I like that. So it is good, but it's also kind of like, I guess if you're not in that headspace of really believing that a elk that you kind of illegally murdered has come back to haunt you, then it's gonna sound very far-fetched to you. Because like the things that are happening, I mean, like it turns out like, yeah, that's really what the story is about. But for a while there, you're kind of just like, this guy has totally lost his mind. And that's all I'll say without giving any spoilers. But at the moment, feeling like I want to be done with this book, but I haven't had a whole lot of time to read. I have been reading every night, but only for like maybe an hour, because I just haven't had time to read this weekend, which sucks. But I'm working from home this week, so I should have plenty of time to finish it. I'm hoping to finish it today because I want to still read the other 2 books, and I'm really excited about them. So fingers crossed. As for the other challenges, the reading in the dark and making a spooky treat, I haven't done either of those. I have been reading at night, but I've been playing on my phone the entire time. So I'm thinking maybe tonight I can like get my book light, kind of create a spooky ambiance, and physically read this book and see how it goes. And then as for the spooky treat, I really don't know what I'm going to do now, because I had the idea, I thought I had these ice trays that were like pumpkin and skull shaped, and I was going to make ice cubes out of them and then maybe make like an iced coffee one morning with you guys using those ice cubes or something like that. And I can't find the ice trays. I think I did end up getting rid of them. So that sucks. So now I really don't know what I'm making. But that is all I have to update you on right now. Hopefully, the rest of this week I can get a lot more reading done and update you. And yeah. So I'm on my lunch break, and I've read about 2 more chapters physically just now, and I'm getting creeped out. It's getting creepy. It's like a very subtle detail, but it just like the last couple lines of page 169, I'm just like, ew. So yeah. Also, it does look like the last 2 people, their chapters are alternating. I'm excited about that. It is cool that the other 2 were separate because they no longer lived on the reservation. One lived in a different state. The other one I think just lived kind of far away. So I'm very interested to see how the rest of this is gonna go. I feel like something's gonna happen at the sweat tonight, but that's a lot of pages for something that's gonna happen in a few hours. But yeah, I think forever now, if I ever see an elk, I will be scared. Hey guys, so it is Tuesday. Ignore my towel. I just wanted to update you really quickly because last night I did complete the challenge to read in the dark. I turned on the audiobook, even though I said I wanted to physically read it. I turned on the audiobook and just laid in bed in the dark with my eyes closed and listened. And I'm scared. Like, it's now daytime and I'm still scared of this entity. I'm so nervous to keep reading this book because I feel like it's going to get scarier as this goes on. So I'm not going to say any spoilers or anything, but so with Lewis, it's more of a paranoia. We really don't see the entity doing anything. It's more of him seeing the entity and like losing his mind. But now with Cassidy and Gabe, the entity is presenting as like a teenage Indian girl, but like the way it's describing her is almost like The Grudge. And I am just terrified. Like all last night, every little movement, like I was waking up, I couldn't sleep with like my back to the edge of the bed because I was scared like I would roll over and she would be there. And I'm just, I'm scared. I'm nervous. I just feel like it's just going to get progressively worse as this book goes on. And I didn't read a whole lot. I think it was only like 30 pages yesterday total, so I still have quite a bit left. But I'm hoping to finish it tonight. That's my main priority. I do have to edit a video, but then finish this book. And I'm just so scared. I'm so scared. But I just wanted to update you guys to tell you that I did complete the challenge to read in the dark. I am scared, and I guess pray for me. Hey guys, so I am off work. I had book club today, and last week is when it was supposed to happen, but there was raining and thunderstorms. We were supposed to meet outside because the library still isn't accepting programming inside, and we had a thunderstorm, so we had to move it to this week. And then it didn't rain all day or afterwards, but just during my book club. So we just sat out in the rain. We sat out in the rain, we had book club. It is what it is. So that was really fun to see everybody and talk about the book, and it was great. But now, before I eat dinner and before I watch some of Good Trouble, which is the spin-off series of The Fosters, which I finally have finished watching the last couple episodes and can now start watching Good Trouble, which I'm on episode 5 and I'm loving it. It's so good. I like it a lot better than The Fosters. But anyways, before I do that, and then of course try and finish this book so I can be done, I have a little unboxing for you guys that I'm really excited about. So a book that I pre-ordered has arrived. First, I got a little pre-order incentive, which is so cool. I totally forgot that I was even getting this. It is this awesome pin, but it's a Watford pin because the book that I pre-ordered is the 3rd book in the Simon Snow series, which is Any Way the Wind Blows. I was very nervous because, like I said, it was raining when this was delivered, and of course they left it out on the porch, but they did bubble wrap it for me, so I'm so thankful for that. So here she is. Oh my god. It's so stunning. Like when I saw the cover online, I was like, alright, that's cool. It definitely matches the, not the first original one, but the paperback of the first one and the hardcover of the second one. When they came out with the hardcover of the second book, they did offer free dust jackets for the hardcover so that it would match the rest of the books. So it does match. It is very, very pretty in person. Let's see underneath. Ooh, we've got some beautiful end papers. Very exciting. Ah! We have a flying goat embossed on the front, and then in that same like off-white we have the spine. Very, very cool. And then My copy is personalized and signed. I buy my copies, except for the first one, I think I might have bought from like Barnes & Noble or something. But the second and now the third book, I buy it from Rainbow Rowell's local indie store. So she goes and signs them, and they're usually the only signed editions that you can get. So that's exciting. Like, look at the spine. It is so pretty. Oh, I love it. So I'm very excited to read this. It is a big boy. The only thing I'm pretty nervous about is that the first book is very, like, lighthearted and fun. The second one deals with a lot of mental health issues, which I don't fault it for, but it's like, I enjoy it because it feels very real for someone. Like, it talks about the aftermath of being a chosen one, and it's not anything that we normally get. So it is really cool, but it's also just like very depressing and not fluffy like the first book. And I've heard that the third book is also not going to be very fluffy. And I don't know how many books are going to be in the series. I don't know if there's going to be more or what, but I have it. I'm so excited. I'm going to go eat dinner, watch some Good Trouble, and then I'm going to read my butt off. Oh, and edit. And read my butt off. Hello. It is Wednesday. Did I finish my book yesterday? I sure did not. No, sure didn't. I had a terrible headache yesterday. I didn't do any reading. Went to bed at like 11 or something ridiculous. And yeah. So it's now Wednesday. This freaking readathon ends in like 2 days, and I have 2 books to try to read. Will it get done? I don't know. If not, if this is the only book I finish, I'm cool with that. I'm a little salty about it, but it's fine. So I have read a little bit more, like a chapter, and I just have to say it is so creepy to get the point of view of the entity. Like, I hate it. It's making this book so scary, and I know that that's the point of horror, but I don't like being scared. I used to love horror movies and being scared when I was a teenager, and now that I live alone, I hate it. I hate it so much. But I just wanted to update you and say that yes, no reading was done yesterday. I am not able to start a new book yet, but I am reading this one, and I think I have a couple hours, like exactly 2, until I need to go up to work. I guess I will sit here and read instead of watching Hulu like I wanted to. This week is such a struggle bus. Such a struggle bus. Okay, I am now on page 255. I just have this little bit left, but I'm gonna have to finish it tonight. This book has gotten crazier and scarier than ever. So there is a 5th person that the entity is now going after. What's super messed up is that the entity doesn't care if bystanders get in the way, in the crosshairs. And there's just like so much death and gore happening in this book. And now they're going after a 5th person that they promised they wouldn't go after. And I'm really scared and nervous about this. I really don't want this person to be affected. This book is insane. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this ending if this 5th person dies. So I guess I will talk to you guys when I get home and finish this book. I'm gonna go get ready to head up to work. I might bring this with me, and we'll consider finishing it at work. We'll attempt to. I don't know if I can. Alright. Talk to you later. Hey guys, so it is Wednesday night, and I have just finished The Only Good Indians. Guys, it has taken me so long to finish this book, but I finally have. I will say that the first half, well, I guess like the first 130 pages is definitely weird. This is Lewis's story, and like the whole thing was just like very insane. Like I'm glad that that wasn't the whole book, because it was very just kind of like, what are you doing? I feel like a lot more of that started to happen in the second half as well, of just like, I think it's because there is this paranormal element. So for me, I'm just like, this isn't real. Like, stop and think for a minute. But you really don't know how you're going to react in these different situations, especially when you have this element of like basically psychosis, as well as in the second half when we have some more instances of this, there's other terrible things going on. And so it's like, how would you react in that situation? Probably the same way, even if there wasn't a paranormal aspect. So yeah, this whole book is just very strange. The second half is definitely the scariest part of this book. I hate that we got the entity's point of view. It really creeped me out. I'm hoping that now that I'm done with it, I can stop thinking about this book, stop thinking about our shapeshifter, because our entity does shapeshift throughout the book. And I'm just hoping that doesn't stick with me, because I've been scared at night, I've been scared during the day, and I'm over it. I don't want to be scared anymore. Really interesting, really enjoyable. I am very happy with how it ended. And I like that it didn't end in a super gruesome way like how I thought it was going to. Like I said, there are trigger warnings for animal death, there's trigger warnings for murder and psychosis, and just a lot of gore and death and weirdness, to say the least. But this was fantastic. I'm so happy that I am done with this book. Oh my god, I'm so happy about it. So that's 2 challenges done. Read a book in the dark and read a paranormal. I have unfortunately found out that this readathon does not end on Friday night. It ends on Friday morning, which I feel like I did know and forgot. So I have a little over 24 hours before this readathon is over, and I have 2 books to try to read. Do I think it's going to happen? No, not really. Am I considering giving myself an extra day? Possibly. It's a possibility. I may cheat a little. But we'll see. We'll just see how it goes. I have figured out what I'm going to do for my bake or make a sweet treat or drink. Is a loophole. It is a loophole. But I don't have very many options in my home, and I also don't have money to go and buy things to do for this. So, I found a loophole. We're gonna do it tomorrow. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna do it twice so that it's double the points of a loophole to equal 1 legitimate challenge. I have Indelible and I have my best friend's Exorcism. Now, while I would really like to pick this one up, I feel like this one is a lot longer and is like probably definitely not gonna get done in 24 hours, whereas this one might, since it's a YA and like a paranormal fantasy. So I think I'm gonna go with this one for now. If I'm not liking this one though, then I'm gonna switch over to this. Like, I'm not gonna like try to trudge through this. I very easily DNF books already, but I feel like I'm going to be even easier to DNF. Like, if I'm not liking this and it's boring, it's just, it's out, and we're going to this one. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna go finish making my dinner. I'm making a frozen pizza, Tortino's, love it. And then we're gonna get to reading, because I wanted to read all 3 of these books, but it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Good morning. It is Thursday morning. I think it might be afternoon by now. I have been on the clock for 2 hours and I haven't done any work yet. Whoops. It's just been a very lazy morning. So as you would have seen, I made my morning spooky treat. Yeah, I have a Halloween cup full of coffee, iced coffee, and a spooky breakfast scramble. That's what we're gonna call it. So yes, it is not as, hi Pep, elaborate. Really, Pep? So yes, it is not as elaborate as some people have made theirs with like spooky pumpkin flavored pancakes and all kinds of really cool stuff. No, it's not like that. So this is where we're at, but challenge complete. I will be doing it again later. I've been doing it since yesterday, but I didn't film it, so I will be doing it again. I will show you my other afternoon spooky treat. So right now I'm just signing into my work computer, and then we will talk about the reading I've done so far. Okay, so I did start Indelible last night. I'm currently on page 72. This is definitely an older YA. I'm not fully loving our main character. It's just very dramatic. It is very dramatic. I have read to the part where ink finally shows up to like explain what's going on, and I'm interested, but I'm not fully invested, and I really don't know if I should just like keep going with this or if I should switch over to my best friend's Exorcism. I don't know, because I do have like quite a lot to go. But yeah, so I'm going to do some work. I think I may go ahead and pick up my best friend Exorcism and try to listen while working today. See how that goes. Why not? So yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy my delicious spooky treat. So good. And I will check in later. Okay, so I'm about to go on my lunch break. I have been reading for the last little bit my best friend's Exorcism, and I am enjoying this so much. According to the audiobook, because I've been listening to the audio, it's really well done. I have 9 hours left, which if I keep listening to it at this speed, I should be able to get it done before midnight. And this could count as, it could count as reading a book with Halloween colors, because I mean, it is like a spooky read. It's got purple and everything, you know. It could also count as a horror. I think I'm gonna devote my time to this. And I might go back and forth between reading it physically and listening to the audio. I like both. Both are really great options. So, I don't know. But, yeah, I'm loving this a lot. No surprise there, but it is really interesting. We haven't gotten to, like, the horror bits yet. It's, like, mentioned in the first chapter because that takes place during, like, present day, that some stuff is going to go down and that our friend is going to get possessed. But then it immediately goes back in time to the 80s. And starts when they're only 10 years old. So it's really interesting so far. There was just a scene where one of the characters had a gun, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is gonna be just like the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, where it's like, is this really gonna happen, or is this just, you know, mass hysteria? Like, I think I know what's gonna end up happening, and I think this one is gonna be, well, I don't know, because I thought what was going to happen in Southern Book Club's Guide is that it turned out like there really wasn't vampires, but then there actually was. So I don't know if this book is going to like say, like, because of how this girl grew up and the satanic panic that was happening at the time, if like she just lost her mind and they were just like, must have been the devil, or if she really is going to be possessed. I don't know, but I'm extremely excited to find out. So I will update you throughout the day as I keep reading, but I'm having such a good time. It's so well written. It's so interesting. I can, you know, like, the world building and everything is so vividly well done that I can see everything happening. I'm laughing. I'm sure gonna get spooked out at some point, but yeah, this is great. Okay guys, so it is officially after midnight, but I'm gonna keep this readathon going for a little bit longer. just until I wake up tomorrow, because I'm only 78 pages away from being done with this. I definitely could have finished it if I didn't have work today. I ended up not listening the entire time that I was working because I had stuff to do that I had to like think about, to type up stuff, and I can't listen to an audiobook and also like fully use my brain. So there was a good chunk of work time that I did not listen to this, so that did set me back a few hours, which means I only have 78 pages. I should have finished this like an hour before midnight, so at 11, if I would have kept listening. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish this book, and then this readathon will be over. So I'm going to go ahead and still say that this readathon was a success and that I did all the prompts. So we are going to be counting this for reading a book with Halloween colors on it. I'm going to count The Only Good Indians for reading a paranormal and reading a horror, because this one isn't scaring me. The last Grady Hendrix book also didn't scare me. It was just very thought-provoking and creepy and ridiculously interesting. I really love Grady Hendrix. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this, and then I will see you guys tomorrow to wrap up this vlog. I'm really happy that I switched over to this because I'm having a really good time. I'm just like flying through this book, whereas Indelible, I think it would have taken me a couple days to finish. Before I do, I did say that I was going to do part 2 of my creating a spooky drink. I meant to do this earlier in the afternoon, but I was too focused on trying to finish this book. So here I have my water bottle full of homemade Gatorade. And here we have a trick-or-treat spooky can koozie. I have found that this fits because I tested it out earlier. I was supposed to do this with a can of Pepsi, but I'm trying to not drink pop at night and to make sure that I'm only drinking it during the day and having Gatorade at night. So there we go. My spooky drink number 2. My challenge is officially completed. Tastes like victory. Alright guys, it is officially time to wrap up this vlog. I have finished my best friend's Exorcism. So yes, last night / this morning, I finished the last 70-some pages of this book, and I really, really enjoyed it. This is, I feel, a really good starter book to Grady Hendrix, especially if you are somebody who mostly reads YA. So both of our characters are in the 10th grade, they're teenagers, they're dealing with parents and school and drugs and the satanic panic, as well as just like normal stuff of like growing apart from friends and not necessarily getting along or being jealous of each other. So I feel like if you are someone who mostly reads YA but wants to start to get into adult and is interested in horror, I would definitely check out this book. So as far as trigger warnings, just like Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, there is a trigger warning for gore and descriptions of things like dead things, bugs, just like all around gross. Like Grady Hendrix has a knack for just describing really super gross things that I don't want to read about, which is why it's in a horror book. There is a really gross scene with a tapeworm. There is animal death, both birds and a family pet. Overall though, this was such an excellent book. It had me so gripped, and you know, I read it in about 12 hours. It was excellent. It was excellent, and I really can't wait to read more by Grady Hendrix because so far all the books I've read by him are fantastic. So 5 out of 5 stars to this one. The Summerween readathon is officially over. I technically completed all the challenges. Did I finish Indelible? No, I didn't. I did start it, haven't finished it. I think I'm going to read a little bit more before deciding to give it up fully. Maybe I will get into it now that like we've finally met ink and the plot is like actually going to finally start. But it is pretty, it angsty older YA, a little too angsty older YA for my taste. So I did do the, you know, spooky drink challenge. I did read a horror. I'm counting The Only Good Indians for that one. I read a paranormal, also counting The Only Good Indians for that one. Halloween Colors, counting this one. And Run in the Dark. Readathon was a success. I would definitely participate in the future, and overall I had a really good time. I'm hoping that in the future I can like really dedicate myself. Like this past weekend was just way too busy, and I wish that I didn't have friends so that I could just read. So guys, that's everything for this vlog. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Keep reading, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys!